What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies, home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, I am talking about Jaren Jackson being an all-star, Dillon Brooks getting his butt whooped, and the Grizzlies continuing to slide. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Diamond back in let's go more. He that MVP.
This is Memphis X with iTalkHoops. While you are here, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to be notified every time I drop a video. I have a goal to reach 3,000 subscribers by the playoffs, and I'm going to need your help to get there. Thank you. So the Memphis Grizzlies fell 128-113 to the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland last night, and probably what was considered maybe a scheduled loss, but especially without Jaren and Steven Adams, it was definitely a scheduled loss. But even though the Grizzlies have lost 7 of their last 8, yesterday brought the great news of Jaren Jackson being named to his first All-Star team. Of course, Ja Morant was named to his second All-Star team. But this is the first time in Grizzlies history that they've had 2 All-Stars in the same game. Jaren Jackson being an All-Star is great. I remember telling you guys last offseason that any contract that they get Jaren Jackson on under the max was a bargain, and here we are. His contract is one of the best contracts in the NBA, and some of you guys were, gagging at paying him anything, wanted him traded. Jaren Jackson has become one of the most dominating big men defensively in NBA history. It's been great. And he's just 23 years old, y'all. Young buck. And his offense is starting to come around. Jaren Jackson has a chance to be a very good offensive player. And combining that with his elite defense gives him a shot to be mentioned in very, very exclusive conversations. Now, of course, this game, again, was without Steven Adams, without Jaren Jackson, so expectations were low for Grizzlies fans. Either way, Cleveland was fully healthy. But the headline of the game was, of course, Donovan Mitchell erupting on Dillon Brooks, throwing a ball at him, hitting him, pushing him, hitting, pushing, it's all semantics. But barely a little kerfuffle started out. And what prompted this was a Dillon Brooks nut shot to Donovan Mitchell. And initially, I was in the group chat taking up for Dillon Brooks. And then I looked at the replays, and I saw that picture you see on the thumbnail of him peeking at Donovan Mitchell before aiming his nut shot to Donovan Mitchell. So, and I'm going to tell you, as a Grizzlies fan, as a basketball fan, as an NBA fan, I have had enough of Dillon Brooks and his antics. I really have. I hope next week, after the trade deadline, I have to never talk about this man again, especially as a Grizzly. I hope the Grizzlies make that happen. And I sure in the hell hope they do not try to extend this man or sign him long term. I don't even want them to keep him after the deadline. The antics are bad enough, but the antics combined with the horrific level of play is just too much for somebody who's leading the Grizzlies in minutes played. It's just too much. I'm tired of it. I've seen enough. And, I mean, come on, people. We have reached a point where we have to become a serious team, and we do not need this kind of behavior or level of play on the team anymore. We got Jaren, Jackson, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, 3 potential All-Stars. It's time to go and get the complimentary piece. Santi Aldama had a great game last night, 21 points, 10 rebounds in relief of Jaren Jackson. He's still got a long way to go. I'll tell you, the strength thing is the only thing holding him back. But other than that, Desmond Bane hit 6 3-pointers. Santi hit 4 3-pointers. Nobody else hit a 3-pointer. This team needs shooting. Now, I'll tell you, with the trade deadline coming, and later on this afternoon, I'm going to do a trade deadline primer for the Grizzlies. Hopefully they don't make a trade before I get that out. But with the trade deadline coming, I really do not have a preference for the Grizzlies making a big trade. I mean, I want them to get rid of Dillon Brooks, but it doesn't have to be a big deal. They don't have to get OG Anunoby. They don't have to do anything like that. I would not mind if they waited until this 2023 NBA draft to address the shooting. And I know addressing the shooting with rookies is iffy, but I'm looking long term. And if they can get one of these shooting wings out of this draft, there are plenty of them. I think that will be more valuable long term than anything they can do at this trade deadline. Now, this trade deadline could be valuable to them short term in this playoff series and maybe the next playoff series. But if they use their assets to trade up in the draft again, which has been their MO, I think it would be a better use for their assets. But we'll talk more about that during the trade deadline primer this afternoon. Peace.